Yes. Welcome back to Booze to Better. Here we are. So today I am 1,635 days sober. I've got this amazing, lovely lady on today who is unfortunately a Tottenham fan, but we'll let her off on that one. So welcome to series 4, episode 3, the lovely Shantelle. How are you, legend?
Hello. Yes, I'm very good. Thank you. Yourself?
Amazing. And thank you so much for taking your time out. So let's dive straight in. What does booze to better mean to Chantel?
So for me, it is probably a really simple answer. It is literally being better. So through not drinking, I've realised I'm just a better person overall. Um, I'm more grateful, more appreciative, and I'm more present. So I think without the alcohol, that's kind of what it's allowed me to be. And also booze to better, I'd say a bit more chilled. I think just taking that substance out of your body allows you to just unwind, relax, and not do everything at 100 miles per hour. So just overall, it's just being a better person.
It's crazy that, isn't it? Because when you said about unwind, relax, most people use it because they believe it helps them unwind, relax, and
Yeah,
de-stress. It's
which is
crazy.
mental. Like for me, if I have a drink, I'm talking 100 miles per hour. I'm dancing around like a doofus, and I'm not relaxing at all. Like maybe that first, that some
Yeah.
I did once get that relaxing thing after I'd had a little break, and I was like, oh, I get it. But that was really never why I drank. It wasn't to relax; it was to go and party. Whereas now I'm so chilled. I've never read so many books. Um, yes, it's the opposite for me. I'm a lot more chilled now.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because although it's booze to better, is a lot of it's like chaos to calm as well, isn't it? Like there was like a chaotic vibe about, well, especially about me. I'm loud, maybe loud and energetic, or some people say loud and brash and fucking annoying. But like it definitely calms me out. Like just it's just like okay, cool. I can be happy and just not get off my nut now. So you've just hit a massive milestone for you. Tell everyone about where you're at right now. Are you drinking?
Yeah, so literally today is 1 year and 1 week. So it's
Oh,
pretty cool. I never intended to do a year. It was more I was gonna do I'd done a few short stints. I actually had a look over my app the other day, and it's kind of been a journey that I've been doing for about 2.5 years now. Just on and off taking 30 days off here, 60 days, 90 days, just to see if I could do it. Never really struggled. It was more just with social events. And if you look at my online profile, you'll see that I'm out quite a lot. So every time there was an event, obviously you're going to drink at an event, aren't you? Why would you not drink? So that would always kind of stop the streaks. But I was always happy with that because I was like, I've done what I intended to do. Have a little drink, go back to it. Um, but after I think I got to 90 days, then it went to 100. And then I secretly told myself I was going to get to a year, but never really said it out loud because that's quite scary.
yeah.
I was part of the Dry app and I was part of their like crew, so to speak. So I kind of told them what I was doing. And then, yeah, so I hit a year last week, celebrated that with some non-alcoholic Prosecco, which was
Love
quite
that.
nice.
Yeah, I
Yeah, and
saw
I
this.
always used to think that was disgusting, the non-alcoholic stuff, and I can't get enough of it sometimes.
Yeah, and it's like even I mean in early sobriety, in fact it's a godsend. But like, so
Mm.
what was your intentions this time? Like,
It was to see if I could do everything that I used to do with alcohol without. So a lot of people, when they do the sober journey, they will kind of stay indoors a lot, which is a safe thing to do because you don't really want to be putting yourself in situations where there's a lot of alcohol, drunk people, because you're just giving yourself every opportunity to fail. For some reason, I decided to do it the opposite. I didn't want to give up everything that I love doing. I didn't want to give up going to concerts, theatre shows, comedy shows, festivals. I didn't want to give it up. Like, I love doing that sort of stuff. That's my big like fun in life. So I wanted to prove to myself that I can still have fun, but without the alcohol. It wasn't easy, and it took a while. And there were some times when I was like, I just really could do with a drink. You're really annoying. So I started to kind of moderate the events. I don't know, say we was at the O2, rather than having 10 beers or 10 ciders, I started just having one or two, which I never thought I'd have done that years ago. I used to black out at concerts and not really remember my favourite artists. I've spent a lot of money on people that I've not really seen. Um, but yeah, so I got to doing like just having one or two ciders. It was hard though, because it wasn't hard not drinking. That bit was easy. It's hard being around all the drunk people. and the people that I was with as well. And I made it clear. I think my confidence grew while not drinking, to the point where I was able to say, like, you have a drink, stop nudging me. I'm not going to be the class clown anymore. I don't need to entertain you like I used to. You entertain, I'll watch, just let me chill. And do you know what? It didn't take that long. It probably took a couple of months. And then I was allowed to be me, or the new me, but at the original events. So yeah, like I said, it wasn't easy. It wasn't the difficult bit. Wasn't me not drinking. It was me still doing everything whilst not drinking because everyone else was still drinking.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that. What so what was your let's take it back to early doors, because what was your drinking like growing up?
I wasn't like a huge drinker when I was younger. It was just the standard when you're like, I don't know, 14, 15, and you go on holiday with your mum and your family. You have a few Bacardi Breezers. Um, that was about it to that extent. I was never mental. Like, I think I've always been a lightweight, but I've never realised because you just chase everyone else, don't you? Um, it was the old Lamborghini at the park as well with all your mates. I should have stopped there. It wasn't good. I think it's embarrassing. I'll just say it though. I think I got found on the beach once at 16. I woke up in sick, and mum's not been happy. But you're young and dumb. Um, and I'm not going to have a go at myself for it because everyone was doing it. I wasn't the only one getting drunk. I was there with all my friends. They apparently could handle it. I couldn't. Um, so yeah, it kind of started from there. Like I say, I wasn't drinking a lot. It was just when we'd go out to the park. Then obviously you hit the age of clubbing. I didn't go out before I was 18 because I looked about 10. So there was no point even trying it. And I did, again, it's pre-drinks, wasn't it? Back in the day,
Yeah,
like, I don't know, thousands or whenever it was.
yeah.
Pre-drinks around your friends. I didn't realise I was doing that for confidence because no chance was I dancing without a drink. I can't dance anyway, but I'm over it now. I just give it a good go. There's, yeah, pre-drinks, going out all the time, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Not a home drinker. I've never been a home drinker. It was always social drinking, but it's always been like, I don't know. I could now moderate if I wanted to. I'm confident on that, but I couldn't really back in the day. Like, one would turn into 10 just because I get excited. I've got like an addictive personality, and I'll get the buzz, and then I can't get them in quick enough, and then I go outside and it hits me. So like I say, I was never a big drinker, not one to sit around and like watch EastEnders and have a drink. It doesn't float my boat. Like, that's chilled drinking, isn't it, so to speak? And that's not what I'm about. So yeah, that was it. I suppose I probably drank from the age of like 18, well, until 3 years ago, on and off.
Yeah, love that.
The
Like,
usual, I think, isn't it?
yeah, and I think it's interesting because Lamborghini girls always have fun, right?
That is true. God.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think that when that pre-drink vibe, and you mentioned a lot about confidence, you mentioned a lot about the social aspect, and that hits home a bit because I thought I needed it for that confidence, for that social aspect, and like with your growing up and drinking like you did, and the like it's all or nothing kind of vibe. Was there like a do you feel like when you're throwing up, like, and you woke up in sick, was there ever a thing like, oh, I've had enough of this already, or was it just like, everyone else is doing it, I'll do it?
And there have been many times where I've kind of said, like, what's the point? But when you're young, you don't really get hangovers. So you're all out having a laugh, aren't you? And you're being stupid. And if you're sick, it's quite funny, apparently.
Yeah.
Um, the more drunk you can get, the better, which is awful when you look back on it now. But I don't know, like, it's more over the last few years that maybe with the hangovers, and then it's the waking up and the phone's going off, and you're like, no, I don't want to look at it. What did I do? What pictures are coming through? What videos are there? What have I said? Who have I upset? Because I'm quite blunt without a drink. So imagine like 5 ciders in me, you're getting it. And I think it's funny. You don't. Um, yeah, it's just not very nice, really, was it? Apparently, I'm
Obviously,
a right laugh, but I don't know.
yeah, obviously for those that don't know, you're very slight, and there's not much to you. And would that been a reason why you feel like you needed it for confidence? Like, because obviously you're a very petite legend of a woman, but like, was that a confidence piece for that? Why did you feel like you needed it for confidence?
To dance. And I know that sounds really stupid, but like, I'm not a mover and shaker. I'm just like, Yeah, big box, little box. But I had some great moves, but again, they'd only really come out when I'm drunk, like the shopping cart and the Hoover. Awful dancing, but I could do it, and it was a laugh then. Maybe a little bit of sexy dancing, but oh, disgusting. It was, yeah, it was just literally the confidence to go out with new people that you don't really know that well, but you want a little group of friends, don't you? And then you get your friends, but you still need the confidence to go out with them, because then you obviously get chatting to, back in the day, chatting to boys. It would have been for me. It was just to get out there really and have a good time, but it was just not known that you could have a good time without alcohol. When you grow up in your 18s to 25s or whatever, everything is alcohol related, and you don't realize that now until you're kind of out the jar, so to speak. Alcohol's everywhere. But
Yeah.
now I realize I didn't need that. Like, I wish that I could talk to myself now, and I know that's one of your questions. Like, what would you say to yourself, like when you was drinking? And
Yeah.
I wish I could say you don't need it. You're more than confident. You're more than enough without it. But who does think that they are at that age?
Yeah, it's crazy because I think that everyone else, because everyone else did it, that's why I maybe started. But how old are you now? No, I should never,
Oh God,
should never ask a
37
woman
at
her
the
age.
minute. I know,
37.
37 at the minute.
Yeah, so I'm like a couple, like 5 years older. Five? I don't, again, I don't even know how old I am. But 4 years, 4 years older. But obviously, we're of the same sort of age group, like garage and things. Like I
Mm,
saw you at a garage like, the other night. But like, I think it's such a crazy thing about fitting in and like doing it. I can't believe now, even till what 6 years ago or however many years ago, like a sign of a good night, and you mentioned it there, like a sign of a good night for me was either throwing up or like, oh fucking hell, I feel like shit this morning. That
that was a
must
good
have been
night,
it.
right?
Yeah, that must
And
have been it.
the question,
Yeah,
did you enjoy it? Oh, I don't remember.
yeah,
How was that good?
yeah,
But you can't judge because we've been there, and it was more weird not to drink than it was to drink. Like, if
yeah,
someone was driving, unless they were designated driver, it was like, why are you not drinking? You're weird, you're boring, which is awful. But at that age, that's what you think.
yeah. Did you feel like yeah, it's interesting because obviously for people that don't know, you're like very sporty and like active. Was that always in you being active? Did you always
Yeah,
like football? Yeah.
always. Like, literally, I remember playing football in the park. I don't know how young I was, but my dad was with me, so I must have been really young. Like, I don't know, 4, 5, 6. I was a proper goal hanger. I'd get like 30 goals and wonder why that wasn't a good thing. I don't get them now. But yeah, I've always been like running around. I literally played football from the age of 13. I joined a women's team before I was old enough. Always loved sports. Yeah, like, I can't get enough of it. And that never stopped with drinking. It never stopped me. Don't get me wrong. I probably would have been better at certain activities if I didn't drink or if I didn't have a hangover. But sometimes I thought I played better on the pitch with a hangover.
And
So
did you feel like it helps you say fit in as well, like with
yeah,
I obviously I've never been a girl, so I don't know. But like, what's like? Because obviously it's lads culture. Like, we'll go out. Like, if I was playing Saturday, we'd go on the piss afterwards, or if we are playing Sunday, we'd like stay and watch the Sunday games. What's the women version of that? Again, I'm not saying you go out for fucking like boozy brunch or whatever, bottomless brunch, but what does that look like?
yeah, it can be. Do you know what? I've always really kept myself out of the football socials
Yeah,
because I've always been quite content with my friend group, and I've always felt more comfortable with my girlfriends rather than football friends. I've always kept things quite separate. Like, I've got football friends, I've got like my partner
yeah,
and whatever friends they've got, and then I've got my actual friends I go out clubbing with, and I've always kept things separate. So I've never been a big let's all go out on a bender with the girls, but it can be very much like that. I would only really ever attend like football presentations, and I'd get smashed.
yeah,
And that's when they would see what I thought was me.
yeah,
But then over the years, I've kind of realised I'd got social anxiety. I don't like throwing that around. I didn't really know it was a thing. I just
yeah,
thought I didn't really like the football lot outside of football. But
yeah.
but then I heard that term and I was like, okay, that makes sense because I do really like them, but I just always avoid the events. So I'm kind of the opposite to what a lot of the girls are for. But I think it's because I've always had a solid friendship group outside of football that I've not had to do that.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
always been really busy with the girls that I had. I didn't really have time for them other than on the pitch.
And you say really busy. I've
Mm.
never known someone with a social life like yours and being like an absolute legend with entrepreneurs. Let's touch on your social life before the entrepreneurship. Like, so the social life, like, I don't think there's a week this year so far that I haven't seen you at the O2 on holiday or a festival or doing something, which is, I mean, I literally sit there and like, oh my God, I wish I had chances live because it's fucking class. How are you dealing with these now? Like it with a clear head? Because like, I mean, you're a year in, which is amazing and it's 100% easier. But early days, these are, uh, you're throwing yourself into the deep end. And I know that what you mentioned earlier is like, it gives you confidence. But for me, I would rather like festivals, especially like and
Mm.
like club like especially that garage night you went to. If that was early sobriety for me, I'd be like, oh my God, it's almost like association, isn't it? Like I'm from like Cambridge, Newmarket. There used to be a club called Pacino's or De Niro's Pacino's, and I'd be like, Pacino's was like R&B, that all that kind of music, the garage music that you went to, and it'd be like association. Oh, I'm back there. I'm back on that vibes. I suppose the question for you is like for people that are listening, how are you dealing with them? Because it's like constant and it's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, no, it is. I think I just tried not to overthink it. So I started the year. Obviously, it would have been middle of June, basically, because I got really drunk on a Sunday at a concert, and it was all going really well. Like I was having a few drinks, and then all of a sudden, I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know if I was spiked or I just drank too much. I wouldn't sit around and go, "Oh, I was spiked," because it could have just been me. I've spiked myself. Too much alcohol, and that was the last time I drank. Because the next day I had a hangover, and I was taking my niece out. And I think, like, I love my niece to bits. And I still took her out because I'd never let her down. And I was still there, but I knew that I wasn't me. So I didn't have the same energy. I took her out for lunch. I could hardly eat. I was chatting to her as much as I could. And I was like, no, this is not a role model. Like, I'm her auntie. She deserves better. So do I. So that was when I decided to do it. So like 16th of June, I was like, nope, that's it, no more. So speaking of events, I had Ibiza booked middle of July. So quite early on in the sobriety, I had all-inclusive hotel booked in Ibiza and a day at Ibiza Rocks to see Joel Corey, who I absolutely love. And I was like, this is great timing, isn't it? Not. Um, so I thought this not ideal, is it? So I spoke to like the people in my little dry group thing, just kind of threw it out there that I was doing it just to see if I got any support or whatever. And I did it. And I think for me, that was so rewarding because I was worried because it wasn't just me going there, not drinking at an all inclusive, but I tried to see all the positives that I could. So luckily they had 0% Heineken and it was part of the all inclusive, which is amazing. Not a huge beer drinker. I still put lemonade in it. So it's ridiculously watered down, even as a 0%. Um, so I was doing that, and what I was doing, which is probably a bit cheeky, I was looking at how drunk everyone else got, and I was thinking, I don't want to be that person. So I was
Yeah.
having a laugh with it, and I was like, you look like you're having a right laugh, and you're having fun, but that's not for me anymore. So I think every time I went to an event, rather than it being hard, and me thinking, oh, I wish I was drinking, I'd have so much more fun if I was drinking, I'd look at everyone else drinking and say that's what I don't want to be doing. So try to just flip it the other way and see as many positives in it as I could. Like for example, with Joel Corey, I was at the front for the whole like 3 hours. My legs were dead. I didn't go to the toilet once. If I was drinking, I'd have been to the toilet 3, 4, 5 times. I would have been at the bar for half of it. I would have missed it. Um, Danielle was still drinking, which actually was a godsend because I just kept sending her to the bar for water. But she was good as well. So I'm having a positive impact on her. She got to see someone. She really enjoyed it. Not as much as me. She had a few drinks, not 100. So I think it's just seeing the positives in everything. Although it's hard, you've got to make a decision when it comes to the sobriety. Do you still do the things you want to do or do you not? And if you are going to do them, just understand it is going to be hard to start with, but you've got to see the future you as to why you're doing it now. So I'm always seeing the long game. How great am I going to be in a year? Yeah.
Yeah,
So I've not stopped.
absolutely.
If anything, I do more now.
Yeah,
Sometimes too much. I'm
yeah, I can
exhausted.
see that. Yeah, it's amazing. Like I said, I sit back with awe because I'm like, oh wow, if I could do that. And it's interesting, isn't it? Because I've hit the same vibe in terms of, I mean, I see Ibiza now. Yeah, I've been to Ibiza 2 or 3 times fucked off my nut. But I've been 4 times, and I'm actually looking to go soon, like for the
I'm going
fifth
again
time.
in September.
Yeah, it just it opens up a whole new ball game for me. Like I'm gonna sound like that typical sobriety guy, but like, Mambo Sunset is different now. It hits different. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
There,
you can see the sunset properly.
yeah, yeah, yeah. For
Everything's just different, isn't it?
Yeah, like you're seeing colors again. Like you're like, for me, the I'll be honest, when was boozing and off my nut, that Mambo Sunset was there because everyone else is fucking go, and I'll be like,
Yeah,
oh, I wanted to be showy like
tick that
everyone else.
box.
Put on Instagram, that'll do because I'm there, I'm ticking that box. The IB for fucking checklist. I spent 20 quid on a bottle of water in this Paradise or whatever it is. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
brilliant. But now I'm like, and it's so interesting what you said about Joel Corey. I had the same. I had this. I had it was a different experience, but I was like, okay, I'm going to watch Calvin Harris, and I went to Calvin Harris in Ushuaia, and I nearly got in a fight because I'm a little bit older than you, but all it was is millennials barging the fuck out of me. I was in like tight and just on their phones, just like video and video and video and video and all night, and I'm like, and I started getting angry to my missus. I was like, Zoe, I'm glad to see everyone's fucking enjoying this. Do you know what I mean? So I took myself away, went on the balcony, and I'm like, if I don't move now, I'm leaving this fucking place. Obviously, I was there like purely for Calvin. Like, and again, home by 12.
yeah,
We drive out there, home by 12, in bed. Like, love that. Go up in the morning. I go to the gym. I go to the bakery. Do you know what I mean? There's like a
yeah,
routine that I have in Ibiza. How fucking crazy is that?
yeah,
Whereas, like, I'm running and then seeing people stumble home. I did the same in Ayia Napa, and I'm like, this is crazy, isn't it? Like the times I'd visit these places, these islands, these beautiful, amazing places, I'd never get to see him. I'd be hungover. I'd throw up. I'd have row with my mates. I'd have row with my ex-wife. Yeah, all of these reasons, and now I'm like, wow, this is a beautiful island. I go to Esvedra, see the suns, whatever it may be, and I'm like, I sound probably like one of them hippies from the hippie market, but yeah. What was your experience like when? Yeah, and it was so early on in your sobriety. What was different about your experience?
Oh, do you know what? It was mad because the hotel was obviously it was all inclusive, and I was like, oh, I don't need this. Um, but the states that we saw, grown women absolutely smashed, like flirting with all the men, getting found at the beach during like midday and stuff, and I was like, that can't be fun. So for my experience was like, I don't know, would that be me if I was drinking? And if it would be, that I don't want it to be. So like I say, for me it was a good experience and I didn't find it awfully hard. But obviously you do continually have to remind yourself like not to drink, whereas now it's not even a fault.
Yeah,
It's mental how different it is. Like if we would go away like glamping and stuff, I'd be like, right, I need like a good few non-alcoholic beers and ciders, and I just want to make it feel special. Whereas now I don't really mind. Like we'll still pack a few, and obviously I did for the year celebration, but it's just not really a thing. I don't drink many non-alcoholic drinks.
no,
I'm happy with a cup of tea, to be honest, or water.
yeah.
It just as the journey goes on, a bit cringe journey, but as it goes on, it changes, it gets easier, and it's not even something you think about. I still check my day count just because I like numbers,
100%.
and I think it's important to remember where you are, where you've been, and like don't take it for granted because it could be so easy to order that drink without thinking, and then you could be on a slippery slope and go, oh, I don't mind that, but I don't think that would happen with me because every time I've done one of my breaks, like 30 days, 60 days, whatever it'll be, and then I've gone back to alcohol, slowly all of my favourite drinks I don't like. I don't like the taste of them. It genuinely feels like I'm drinking poison. So I'm not saying I'll never drink, but it would take quite a lot, I think.
That's interesting because I had someone on last week, and we had this conversation. And it's interesting, different takes on it, and hence that's why I get different people on. Um, but that comment there where you said, "I'm never saying never," and it'd take a lot. What do you mean? What do you mean about that, and why? I suppose.
So I don't see any positives to drinking. However, I wouldn't want to say I'm never going to do it because if I then, for some reason, did change my mind, I'd feel like a failure. So I'm kind of leaving that door open, I suppose. But I really don't see it opening. But if it did, I'm not going to be upset. I would only be upset if I did decide to have a drink and I got absolutely smashed, blacked out, and I was a dick. If that happened, I'd be gutted. If I decide to have a couple of drinks and they're moderate, then do you know what? Hats off to me because it's really bloody hard to moderate. It's harder to moderate than it is to stop. So there's swings and roundabouts. But like I say, yeah, the only way I'd be gutted is if I got smashed because I've been through so many different things not drinking, like wakes. And at the wake, I was like, everyone's just drinking. Alcohol kills you.
Yeah.
I don't know, you just see things differently. But I'm like, I can't voice it because alcohol is such a big thing. Like, it's promoted everywhere. Like, why would you not drink? Because it's everywhere. It's branded as such a good thing, but it really isn't. When you start to look into it, it's awful. But I don't want to preach about it.
No, no,
I used to
and
love it.
yeah, yeah, and I think that's the thing, isn't it? There's a time and a place that we used to probably feel that about 90% of the UK how they're feeling, especially when it's hot outside or whatever. That wait,
Anything, good
yeah,
day, bad day, celebration.
yeah,
It's
give me
hot
the
outside. It's raining.
yeah,
Get up.
yeah, yeah. Tuesday night,
Honestly, I think when I first stopped drinking, I noticed that everything would have been not necessarily for me, but for friends and family, could be a reason to drink. Oh, I've had a
yeah,
really shit day. I have a drink. I've had a really good day. I've had like let's have a drink. I'm like, sun's out. Let's go to the beer garden. Now I'm just like I don't get it. What, go to the beer garden so you can chat shit? Like, it's mind numbing. I just feel like I need my brain to be like working so much more now.
yeah.
I
It's
just forever
interesting
wanting to learn.
to think that. Yeah, I run one of my routes past a Weatherspoons, and I I'm just
Classy.
oh yeah, stay classy, Marcus. And I'm just looking at it and being like, I almost want to take a microphone and just say, which I might do, yeah, and just say, look, what's your reasonings behind being here, and them excuses or them what we've just said are probably going to be 95% of their reasonings, social. I've had a tough day, the sun's out, blah blah blah. But it beggars belief is like, okay, cool. If a big burning ball in the sky makes you want to drink, then like I think there's a deeper root.
Yeah.
Everything there seems to be a deeper. There's a reason why, isn't there? There's always a reason why we were doing what we were doing. For me, it was escape. It was confidence. It was, you name it. It was. I was using this. I was getting over a divorce. I was all all of the excuses, and I see it daily because obviously when I coach for it, I see it daily. It's like there's this excuse, there's that excuse, and I feel that that's all it is.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued, but and this is quite a big part for you. Is like your partner Danielle still drinks? Am I right?
Yep. Yep.
How? Because at the first, when I did this with my fiance, it was a tricky situation to deal with and to overcome. I'm intrigued how other people do it. I'm intrigued how you do it.
Yeah, it's sometimes it's hard. Like, and she knows, because I'm like, I'm not, I have decided that I don't want to drink. You haven't, and that's your decision. So it's not for me to say, I think you should stop. So,
Of
because
course.
if anyone wants to stop, it should be their choice. And they've got to have their reasoning behind wanting to stop. So obviously she doesn't want to, and that's fine. Um, but sometimes it can make things hard because obviously we're both doing the events, and then sometimes I feel bad because I can do the events and not drink. I'm putting her in situations where I know she's going to want to drink. And if she doesn't have one, she's probably not going to enjoy it because her way of enjoying things and relaxing and just feeling confident is to have a drink. So, like I say, if and she knows this, if she could have one or two, three or four drinks when we go out, I'd be quite happy. But as I've just said, moderating's really hard. And I know what it's like. I used to get the taste for it. So I'm not going to have a go at anyone because they keep going to the bar. But it's when it gets to that point of you're annoying me now. Not just Danielle, it could be people that we're out with as well, or just other people around us, because you just start repeating yourself. You're just not listening. They're not really in the room with you. And I even said to her recently, I was like, it feels lonely being me sometimes. And I know that's a bit cringy, but like we could have a really good time but I'll feel like lonely and like I'm on my own because
Yeah.
we both had a good time, but for different reasons. I don't know. But like I say, she does do like sober breaks now as well, which so obviously I'm having a positive impact. Maybe in time she'll do like some longer stints, but I wouldn't put any pressure on her because I wouldn't want her to resent me for her doing it. Like I say, she's got to make that choice. But all I can keep doing is shining the torch on all the positive that it brings out of me and what I can then bring to our relationship, and hope that in time she'll just keep doing more sober days. Like, so for my year, she didn't drink, and I know that that was hard for her because we went glamping, and it was like this big log cabin. It was insane. I absolutely loved it. But we was kind of in the middle of nowhere. So when it got dark, it was a bit creepy. And we was on our own. And I know that she would have had a couple of drinks then to feel safe. She was so clingy. Every time I went somewhere, she was like, "No, don't leave me. I just want a break." But she did it. And do you know what? We had the best time. And I know we had such a great time because she didn't drink. And I've told her this. I'm not shy about it.
Yeah.
And I think the more I tell her, hopefully it'll like go in her little head. I don't know.
What's her thoughts around it, and the thoughts around you? I obviously I know she's super proud because like the you know of what you do together. Like, what's her thoughts around? Does she? The reason I'm asking is because it's fascinating. It fascinates me, and I see people in different sober groups and different networks saying different things. But it's interesting because like it's almost like that person, the one that still drinks, then feels, and this the word feels. I'm going to say feels it. Feels judged by the one that doesn't drink. But when it's again, you're just doing you and just shining light. Like I suppose if you're not judging or saying anything, even this person that drinks, Danielle, my fiance, you know, but like, do you know what I mean? Even they feel judged at the time. Um, I don't know how you're, because I see it regularly. So I
Yeah.
don't know what's your take on that?
So we've done like a complete U-turn. So like years and years ago, I got really drunk and I was like, "Do you know what? I can't drink ever again." Obviously, I did carry on drinking, but she did make a comment to someone like, "I don't know if we can be together if she doesn't drink." I just couldn't do it. And I was like, "Why would you want me to drink?" I was a dick. Like, I'm trying to do good for us. So I was like, okay, that leaves our relationship in a bit of a weird position. Anyway, we kind of obviously went on with it. Then when I started doing my sober breaks, so right now Danielle is my number one fan, biggest supporter, and she'll do anything for me in terms of not drinking. Yeah, she bangs that drum all the time for me. But even at the beginning, it would be like, "Oh, are you sure you don't want to drink? Want one or two? Just have one on the train." And I was like, "What are you trying to do? I don't want to drink. Stop asking me, because as soon as you ask me, it puts a bit of doubt in, and I think maybe I should have one or two." So she's gone from thinking that we couldn't be together if I didn't drink, then to kind of tempting me, but without meaning to. Like, she's got my best interests at heart, so to speak, because we always drink and she's lost her drinking buddy. So, you know, I get it. So now she doesn't even ask me about the whole drinking thing. She'll go out and buy me non alcoholic drinks. She's forever buying me water, and she couldn't do enough for me. So it's done a complete U turn, which is mental to think about it. And she always tells me how proud she is of me. But I still let her do her thing, and she's now 100% let me do mine. But it did take her a while to warm to what I was doing and then to try and make changes herself. It's not, again, it's not been easy. Nothing is easy. Everyone wants easy. Everyone wants to give up booze, have the same life or the best life, but they don't want to like put the hard graft in. And that's the
Yeah.
problem with people in everything, not just drinking, business, fitness. Everyone wants to get fit, but they don't want to go to the gym and they don't want to eat well.
Yes.
So
Repetition,
it's
right? They don't want to do the reps. They want, yeah,
they want the end result, but they don't want the journey in between. But the journey's the important bit. Like, I've done photo shoots and I've looked great, but I haven't felt great. But I've loved that journey. I've loved eating just chicken, broccoli, and rice for breakfast. It's weird, but I love the structure and I love that I'm doing things that are not normal. But the photo shoot bit, I'm like, man, it's done. Like, boring. It's the bit getting up to it.
what do you feel you get out of that? Like the journey?
It's building resilience, isn't it? It's building confidence. It's proving to yourself that you can do hard things daily when you want to and when you don't want to. And I use all of that stuff in my business. So, like, little things like when I'm running, when I want to stop, I think, well, if you stop now, are you going to stop that easy in business? If I'm having a cold shower and it's really bloody cold, I think, well, you're just going to get out. So what if something hard happens in the business? You're just going to leave it. So I'm always having these like little mental chats, and I'll just always relate it to business. Obviously, if you haven't got business, you can't, but you could relate it to your job. You could relate it to your family. You're just going to walk away when things get hard. And that's a bit deep, isn't it? But I've got a deep head.
Yeah. Let's go. If you're going, you want to go deep. Let's go deeper. In terms of, you mentioned earlier. I'm not Stephen Bartlett, by the way, but I am going to go a bit deeper. You mentioned earlier, previously when you were younger, you were drinking to attract attention from boys. But as you've mentioned now, you're with Danielle. So what changed?
No, to be honest. I just met someone. I don't. It's a weird one with me and Danielle because we've actually been friends for like 20 years, but we've been together. My
Don't worry, I
teddy,
can cut that bit.
pretty sure it's 8. So we were actually really good friends when I had a boyfriend, but nothing
Okay.
ever happened. But there was clearly a connection there, but I didn't know what that was. Um, but then we found each other, obviously like 8 years or so ago, and the time was right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. It's just a weird one. It was nothing to do with alcohol. I always liked boys when I was younger. I wasn't interested in girls. And then as I got older, I fell for the person rather than the sex of the
Sex.
person, male or female. Males are still I find attractive,
Yeah, thank you.
but Danielle just happens to be a female. There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah.
So
No, I was just intrigued because when you
yeah,
mentioned, I didn't, the backstories are probably just that. Like, there doesn't have to be like
it's not complicated. It
yeah,
happens sometimes. Like, some people obviously grow up and they like the same sex. I never did. I
no,
was never interested in the same sex. It was always I liked boys.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then I did, well, not that I didn't, but then I found someone else.
It's intriguing. I love that. And again, it's not that Stephen Bartlett moment. I want to make you cry. Do you know what
No, it's not like,
I
I thought he was going to ask me something else.
mean?
I was like,
um,
oh,
like you've touched a lot on the business, and as we mentioned off there, like you're thriving with your business, and hats off to you for that. How do you think the sobriety is impacted on that?
it's just allowed me to be more consistent. I've always been consistent with the business. I absolutely love it. And I obviously want to do a good job because I love what I do. It's mega rewarding. But I did find that it was after COVID, and I hate bringing COVID up, but I found that my hangovers got worse. And
Yeah,
it's like they didn't get worse, but I was more tired the day or two after I'd been drinking. And I started to notice probably the last few months or the last few occasions of drinking that I was just really tired and I'd wake up and I couldn't be bothered and I'd be thinking, I can't be bothered with this business. I don't want to be looking at my phone all day because a lot of it's on the phone unless I'm physically coaching. And it was just like a light bulb moment. I was like, I can't drink. I can't keep drinking because my business, I've left my job to run this business solely. Like, just stop being an idiot. So, in not drinking, it's allowed me to be consistent with the business and not see it as like something that's a little bit in the way because I couldn't just have a hangover. I couldn't just be tired because I've still got to work. No one's working for me.
yeah,
So I just feel like the business is so much better now. It was great anyway. It always has been great, but it's better now. Like, yeah,
yeah. Amazing. So with has that, because you are obviously football mad, and like amazingly that's a part of your job as well. Like you coach youngsters, and that must be incredibly rewarding. Do you have coaches who help you out, or do you have to coach everyone, or how does it work, like with your job?
yeah, no. So we've got like nearly 11 clubs at the minute, soon to be 12, if not more. So we've got coaches because they're all over the place. Like one of them's 30, the closest one's 25 minutes away, and the furthest one's an hour and 45. Danielle tends to go to the further away ones, but she's quite often not actually coaching now. So we've both managed to get out of the coaching role, but I will still quite often go to my Benfleet club because I absolutely love it. It's where it all started and it's my favourite. Everyone knows it. It's my little baby. But we do have a lot of staff. I say a lot, about 15 coaches, probably about 20 staff in total. I say staff, they're like subcontractors, but they technically work every weekend. Um, it's taken the pressure off of us and it's meant that it's taken away some of that control because I'm quite a control freak, but I'm now learning to trust others and I'm fully aware that the business can't get bigger if I'm doing all the work.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I do love it, so I'm always there still.
So I'm asking football questions now.
Oh
So
god.
what was it? Was it that you had to do like a level two? Like, what's the? Do you need a specific grade for like coaching, or is it just like a? Because I
So
went to level two. That's why I'm asking.
yeah,
Like,
no, that's all right. Because of what we do, because it's technically promoted as under fives, you don't really need anything. You obviously need an enhanced DBS because you're with children,
yeah,
even though their parents are around. I do have a level 1. You don't need a level 2. I think you need a level 2 for 7 upwards. Again, I don't fully know. All I know is I'm okay doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, lovely.
So you don't really need too much. And I kind of fell into the business at a time when I was drinking, so it wasn't non-drinking related.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's been an absolute godsend because I get on quite well with children. I'm quite fun, athletic, and I can geek
Yeah,
around. And yeah, I don't mind a bit of football as well. And I look really good to a 5-year-old. So
yeah. Did you play at a decent because you still play now at a
still
decent
playing, yeah.
standard, and you're very.
Um,
I can see you're good. What like? Do you play at a decent stand? Like, did you play at a decent standard?
Yeah, do you know, they have this pyramid thing, and obviously I wasn't playing for like Tottenham or anything like that. But for what I've never got paid or anything either. But that's a confidence thing. I reckon when I was younger, if I got proper coaching and training, I reckon I could have been really good. I'm not going to lie. But
Yeah,
no one
yeah.
knows it at that age, do they? And you need
No,
the support of like your parents to be
you
like, oh,
do.
you're really good and you could do this. Not saying they didn't support me, but football back then just was different.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah. Like, and I think that you're right. Like football back then, a lot. Some of that was who you know as well. Like back
Yeah.
then, in my opinion, um, it, it's interesting that I think football has definitely evolved, but I think a lot of
So much more you can do with it in the women's game. And it annoys me
yeah.
when they go, oh, isn't it great now? And I'm like, do you even know who England women are playing?
No,
Like, do you know
exactly.
anything? Like, yeah, it's a lot better.
Yeah, yeah.
So much more that could be done though. It's nowhere. And I'll be honest, I don't think it should be the same as men's football. It's a completely different game, but we still need to be getting more recognition for what we're doing because we're probably doing a lot more than what the men are doing in
Yeah.
certain like remits. But that's another discussion, isn't it?
Yeah, no, and I think you're right. You know, it's I do even with even with the kids and men's footballs. I still think that, like you said, the men's side that can still be better. But you're right. Like with the women, okay, we're getting 60,000 sometimes at Arsenal. We're still getting like 50,000 at Wembley, which is amazing. But I still don't think.
The advertising and
Yeah, the
stuff. And
marketing's still
I
not
don't
there.
even know when games are on, if I'm honest, because
No,
unless it's in your face, you don't know. And I don't really have the time to research it. So like I love football and I support the women's teams as much as I can. And I love the development of children in football, whether it's boys or girls, like both. It's amazing. I don't even care if they're playing football. Just get them out and about running, do any sport you want.
movement, right?
Just get
Yeah.
your kids active. Football's great, but there are other sports out there as well.
Yeah, it's so I see it with kids now, and I'm going to relate it to the booze as well. It's all like the instant gratification. It's all like, oh, we need to get that dopamine hit now. We don't want to go out. And, you and I, when we were younger, probably at a ball with a ball at our feet, or we're running, or we're doing something like playing fucking like hide and seek or whatever.
Yeah,
But we're not like Kirby or whatever. But we were not on our screens like watching YouTube or doing whatever. We were
out causing
out
havoc.
causing havoc.
Smashing windows with
Yeah,
footballs and stuff.
exactly. But and it's definitely lacking. And you know, but again, it's that quick fix, isn't it? Like I'm as guilty as ever with scrolling and things like that. But it's taken away from what and that is a big thing in terms of like because not everyone's going to grow up and be like a Beckham, a Rooney, and things. And I think that's the kids these days want to be that. Again,
And
it's
the parents.
yeah,
I'll
the
get kids,
parents want it more than the kids.
and the kids could be like 2 years old, which is a funny little age. And they'd been in the class for like 10 minutes, like first class 10 minutes. And they go, they're just not getting it, are they? And I'll go, they've been here 10 minutes. Like, bear with, like, they are also two. Like, it will take a good few weeks for it to start clicking. And I'm like, please just bear with me because I've seen this and I've done it for like 7 years now. It does work, but you've just got to wait. And then when it clicks, you'll be so proud because I'm proud because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
see
yeah.
the changes in all the kids. We're not just a football club where we're like, oh, we've got 100 kids here and we don't know who they are. I know every child's name. I know all the parents. When they come in, I'm like, hi, how are you doing? How was the wedding? Congratulations. He's had a haircut.
Yeah,
New trainers. Like, and that's not because I have to, it's because I want to.
yeah.
But yeah, everyone just, like you say, they want it like that. Parents want them to be footballers because they think they're going to get loads of money. And
Yeah. Well, it comes back to what you said earlier about they want the end result, but they don't want to do the work. I mean, but
yeah,
I found like I stepped down from coaching football because of the parents. Like
Yeah,
they're
they're the
the one.
worst.
Yeah,
Not my ones, but in youth football and stuff,
yeah.
the parents are just awful,
They're the ones
especially
slagging
to
my
the
dad off.
coaches.
Yeah, they're slagging my dad off on the touchline, and I'm supposed to then like coach
Coach the
their
kid.
kids, and I'm like, well, you're and they're not, not helping out, not doing anything. But it's like, let's be honest, your kid's probably not going to be Ronaldo with your attitude. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it is. It's the mums and that. What do you feel has been like the hardest part of your sobriety?
Do you know what? Overall, the hardest part would probably be the fact that I didn't start it sooner. So, no, that's kind of not an answer to the question, but if it was easier, I would have done it years ago. But this actual journey of like the year and a week, on the whole, has been pretty easy. Like, there have been challenges. I just wish I did it sooner. The hardest bit's probably been being around people that still drink and wanting to, like, I have lived the same life and I have loved it, but at times it has been difficult and it's made me question a lot. I'm constantly questioning things now. Um,
You mentioned the
like exact,
loneliness bit. Like, does
yeah,
that?
like the loneliness bit, and like I really want to spend time with these people, but it's different now. Um, how much time should I spend with them? Should I be trying to find new circles of friends where we go like hiking in the woods and cold
Different for
sea
them or
dipping?
different for you? This is an interesting question.
Different for me because for them they won't realise it's different because they're tanked up. So it's more of a frustration thing for me because they might still be having a good time or they're just not really aware of whether they are or not because every event's the same when you're having booze, isn't it? You don't often get a really bad one unless something kicks off and there's a fight or a row. It's like, yeah, it's good. Don't really remember much. Got a few photos and a few videos. Top night. But for me, it might be like, yeah, it was good, but that was really annoying. That was frustrating. So it's like a 50-50. So I'm still
Yeah,
glad I've done the event because I think you should always regret something that you've done, not something that you've not,
yeah,
because
yeah,
otherwise you'll be constantly regretting not doing it. And it might have been really good or really bad. So I can still have the positives of it was good, but there were things that I didn't like. And all I can do is take the learnings from that.
yeah.
So I don't
Love
think
that.
it's fair that I should stop doing what I'm doing. But I sometimes say to Danielle, do you know what? I might start doing things on my own. Like I went to London on my own the other day and I went to see Tommy Fordham.
Yeah,
Or
I saw
Steve
that
Green
event.
Mallet.
Oh, class. Yeah,
Yeah, because I was like, I dragged her to Stephen Bartlett last time, literally dragged her. She was like, what is this? And it was intense. His show was mental. We had slideshows and
I
everything. And it
love
was
that
great,
though.
but it was like the
Yeah,
brain was popping. And there were people there drinking. And I was like, how can you learn when you're getting
yeah, yeah,
tanked up? But anyway, so then when I saw the Tommy tickets, I was like, mentioned it to her, I got nothing. So I was like, right, I'm booking it. I'm gonna go on my own. Do you mind? I don't need permission, but obviously it's nice to
yeah,
ask.
yeah, yeah.
And she was like, yeah, it's fine as long as you're all right. And I was like, yeah, cool. And I went on my own. Do you know what was the best? I didn't have to worry about anyone. I didn't have to think if Danielle was there, I'd be thinking, would she prefer to be having a drink right now? I just worried about me. And I got talking to this lady next to me. And I wouldn't have had a great experience if I'd have gone with someone else that might have been drinking. Or even if they weren't drinking, because I'd be worrying about them.
That's so crazy. I didn't realize you go. Josh, is it Josh James? Yeah, the comedian.
Yeah, it's his
Yeah,
mate, isn't it?
yeah. He's funny as fuck.
So he was doing like the questions. He's quite funny, yeah. I follow him now actually.
He's really
Um,
fucking funny. Like really
yeah,
funny.
I don't
Yeah,
watch stuff because I don't actually go on Instagram that much. I kind of post and then drop out.
yeah,
I'm quite good at not scrolling, but I do have my moment.
yeah, yeah. That's oh mate, that's really like a sick answer to that because it, it, I think that you're living. Yeah, what's beautiful is that you're living proof that having gone a big sustained period without something holding you back, you're still living the same life as you were when you were
For
boozing. Yeah,
if not
which
crazier,
if not better, and like and like I would encourage everyone to go and just have a look through Chantel's Instagram and see the event she does attend. And I'll challenge you to do the same
God,
sober. Like I would challenge people to do the same sober because it's fucking it's class. And like I sit back and I'm like, oh my god, she's got another ticket. Because sometimes I think you go to these events with like VIP. Am I right in saying that? Do you go
yeah,
VIP?
yeah. I just mix it up because I just think, well, I'm not spending money on alcohol now, so I'm going to try a different experience.
Yeah, love it.
So, whereas if I was drinking, I wouldn't really be bothered about where I was sitting. I wouldn't even care if I could see because I'm not going to remember it. So I'm using that money that I'm not spending to make the experience better, and then I'm going to remember it as well. But like I say, sometimes I book too much. So one day I had 3 events back to back, 2 at the O2 and 1 at the Cliffs Pavilion the night before. And that was mad. I felt like I had a hangover on the last day. And in my head, I was like, what would I feel like if I was drinking and I'd had 3 days of drinking? I'd feel awful because I felt exhausted. But again, I just tried to take the positives of, I don't feel great right now, but I'd feel even worse if I'd been drinking, and I would have spent hundreds of pounds, because we all get a little bit loose, don't we, when we've had a drink and start
Yeah.
splashing the cash. I just think, why? Who are you showing off for? Like, I
Yeah.
used to do it, and I used to be really sensible with money, like when I was younger. And then I started kind of, I had this whole thing of like, I like a glass of champagne and I like to have it in a picture. And that was one of the things that I suppose I struggled with. Like, what am I going to do now? What am I going to take photos of? Can't take a picture of a like Coke Zero. And that was one of the hardest things. And now I just take pictures of tea. But
Yeah,
that was one of
yeah.
my things of, do I want to give it up? Because, and then I was like, it's 20, £30 a glass. Give it up. Like, what's wrong with us? I'm just
Yeah.
so much happier in myself now. I'm so content. I don't need to please anyone. If you think I'm boring, think I'm boring. I think you're boring because you have to drink. And I don't mean that in a rude way. If you're having but if you're having to have a drink to have a good time, you're not having a good time. You're having a good time because drink's allowing you to. I'm having a good time naturally.
Yeah, that's
It's a
fucking.
bit preachy, but it's genuinely how I feel. I'm so strongly for it. But yeah, I've got so many people around me that drink. But
Yeah, that's. I mean, that's fucking incredible. Anyway,
my
yeah, I'm
dad
the
was an
same.
alcoholic, and I just
Okay,
think hence why I've got an addictive personality. He isn't now, and we're back in touch after a few years. But I didn't see him from the age of about 16. It just kind
because
of,
of the drink.
yeah, the drinking got so bad that he stopped. Like, yeah, actually, I probably didn't see him from about 11, and then I think he just stopped picking me up and stuff from mums because they weren't together. They were only together until I was about 6 months. I don't know. But I was always in a pub when I was little. I'm really good at playing pool because that's what I did when I was younger. I'd be in the pub playing pool on like a little crate. So I thank him for that.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I love it. But yeah, so last time I saw him was 16. Then he kind of, and that was very briefly, and it was very weird because nothing was staying in his brain. He's had a few operations, but they're due to like drink and getting stabbed and stuff like that and all weird stuff. But then he got back in touch about 3 or 4 years ago. And now he only has, I say only, but 8 cans a week, which that's just over one a day. But in comparison to what he was drinking, it's a lot better. But I just look at him and I think I could have a problem with alcohol when I'm older.
Yeah,
Like,
one in.
that's
I think.
a
Yeah,
reason for me not to keep doing it.
yeah, one in. I think it's 1 in 5. I think if your parents, which is
Yeah.
fucking crazy, right?
So
And
I just use that as an example not to drink.
so, what does he know about your? I'm sure he knows about your sobriety, and what's his thoughts around that?
He doesn't really say a lot. Like, he's got something wrong with his brain where he can tell me something that happened 50 years ago, but whatever I did last week or whatever, and he lives like 3 hours away. Um, he can't really remember short term, which is a shame. I'd probably have a better relationship if his brain weren't messed up, but that's due to alcohol. I did mention when I saw him a few weeks ago how I wasn't drinking. He was like, "Why do you keep telling me that you're not drinking?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm just telling you, as I'm about to buy you 8 cans of beer." I was like, "No, I'm just saying." He's like, "Okay," but yeah, it doesn't really mean anything to him. Um, I think Mum's glad that I don't drink. She doesn't really say much. She might listen to this. I don't know.
And what's
Mums
her?
don't really say a lot, do they? Like
No, not
parents,
really.
parents don't say a lot.
No, yeah, yeah. It's tricky, isn't it? Parents of
Getting
our.
praise is quite
Yeah,
like, "Are you proud of me?" Unless
yeah,
you
yeah.
literally ask, which I'm not going to do. But she knows I'm doing this, and because I took her, well, I say I took her out for lunch. She ended up paying today, but she was like, "Well, you've got time to get back now and get ready for your call." So I think,
Well, I'm
yeah,
proud of you. A year sober, multiple businesses. It's no joke. So, what's your mum's relationship like with seeing your dad do what he done? What's your mum's relationship like with booze?
she doesn't really drink. Like, she's one of those. She'll go bingo every Wednesday, and she'll have one or two double vodka and coke, and that's it. She's done. Um, and that's literally once a week. That's her little thing.
Yeah,
She used to drink, like she used to drink wine or she'd drink beer. She used to drink a lot back in the day, as they do.
yeah,
But then she completely stopped. I took her on a caravan holiday. It must have been last year, year before, I can't remember. And that was when I was drinking actually, so it must have been a couple of years ago. And she would only ever have probably two max vodka and cokes, and that was it.
Yeah.
And that was quite nice in a weird way because I just have one or two proseccos with her just as a social drink. So that's
Yeah.
where I know I can moderate. But it's being around the right people. If you're around someone who's having one or two, you just match it. But if they're going to the bar every 20 minutes, you're going to match that as well, aren't you? Especially if you're doing rounds. I'm not
Yeah.
missing out on a round.
Yeah. And I think our parents are of the ilk that, like, for me, it was just like drink to get fucked, drink to get smashed, drink to whatever it may be. But
Yeah,
our parents are like quite like the stolt, like they'll just drink like slowly, but like a lot.
enjoy it.
But
Like,
to like, yeah, and just soak it all in, as opposed to like we'll be like, vroom, vroom, like you said earlier, like it's trying to
it's
get
to
it
get
down
that
as quick.
rush, isn't it,
Yeah, yeah,
really?
yeah,
It wasn't like I necessarily enjoyed the
Hun-
booze.
yeah,
It was that, yeah, let's party.
yeah,
Like,
absolutely. Yeah,
whereas now I'm like, no, get me a book.
yeah, let's change our mental state for that 15 minutes of that dopamine hit that we're getting, mate. So like if someone come up to you now, because you're obviously an expert at this, three things like you would say to someone now, that like if someone come up to you and said, Shant, I need help on giving up the, so say it was Danielle, or someone come up to you and said, I need help giving up the booze, what three things would you tell them?
I would say don't put pressure on yourself. Try some short stints. Don't go full hog and say I'm never going to drink again. Because that's silly. If you're someone that drinks every night or every weekend, just try and change things. So maybe say I'm going to do a week with no alcohol, or I'm going to do 30 days. But don't just do the 30 days and not change anything. Like when you would normally drink, get yourself a hobby. I didn't need to get a hobby because I'm always so busy. So I didn't really have time to add anything else in. But for most people, if they're sitting around at home drinking, you need to change that. Like, I don't know, go and get a Lego subscription, go and build a puzzle or whatever it is. But like I say, number one, don't put too much pressure on yourself. Give yourself a short stint. Make notes of how you're feeling every day, whether it's good or bad. And then you can reflect on that when you get to the end of that, say, 30 days. Once you get to the end, I know it's your decision as to whether you extend it or whether you maybe, I don't know, I wouldn't want to say have a drink, but everyone's different without speaking to that person in particular. Number two, find out why it is you drink at the minute. Why don't you want to drink? Because if it's just, I don't want to drink, I think that'd be really cool. That's not the reason for it. What are you going to get out of not drinking? So, like for me, without even realizing, like my confidence boosted, my self esteem. I didn't need to rely on people's like opinions of me. I don't care what people think of me. That's their faults. I can't control what they're thinking. So
Exactly.
yeah, find out why you don't want to drink. And then you can start to tick it over those 30 days. Like, are you getting what you want out of this? And if you're not, what else can change? And three, just enjoy the process. If you're going to give it up, enjoy it. Don't make it feel like a chore because you're just going to regret doing it. And as soon as the 30 days are up, or however long it is you're going to do, 60 days, 90 days, whatever it is, you're just going to go straight back to it because you're going to feel like you've missed it and you deserve a drink. I used to do it. I'd have 30, 60 days off, 75 days off, and then I'd celebrate sobriety with a drink, which is mental. Sure, I'm not the only one though.
100%, you're not the only one. Dry Jan and November, like February and November, like everyone's like itching at the bit, because it's
Yeah.
like you're setting yourself up. The intention is great, but the intention is you're only going to do, and that's why I mean, again, the question earlier about like when you said never say never, and that's why I'm intrigued with people who change and not have a massive sustained period. I think Tommy Mallet actually is just,
Yeah, I think he broke it at his wedding,
yeah, his
didn't he?
wedding, yeah,
But now I think he'd done what was it, a year and a half, and then I'm
yeah,
guessing he drank
yeah,
at the wedding. Now he's doing 2 years, but
yeah,
he's happy with that. And
yeah, yeah,
that was obviously his goal. Won't drink till the wedding because he knows he goes a little bit nuts.
yeah,
And now he's back on it. But he's strong. He's strong minded, and he'll do
yeah.
it. If he says he's going to do it, he'll do it.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, isn't it? With people, like they put such a sense of worth around the booze or the poison or whatever you want to, um, however you want to say it. But they're putting about. It's almost like they're grieving a loss.
Yes.
Whereas like if you're always grieving that thing that you're letting go of, you're never gonna change that mental, the relationship around that thing, because like it's the same as like it's not just the booze. Like with me, with my ex-wife, you know, me with my friends who I've unfortunately have chose a different route to me. That's not on me. That's on them. And also, I've got to then be like, okay, cool. I've got to somehow get grateful for that. And that's why, like, I think that you're getting grateful for actually that was fun. That alcohol, however, whether it be 25 years that I'd been boozing or however many years I've been boozing, or 25 days. Like, you have to, in my opinion, you have to get grateful for that thing that you're giving up because it served you for however long, but
Yeah.
actually it's no longer serving me. It's actually affecting my health, my energy, my sex life, whatever it may be. And actually, then there's got to be some, in my opinion, and I'd be interested to hear, there's got to be some like line in the sand to be like, yeah, that was fun, but this is me now. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely. And I think you're right, there is a grieving process. Although I said it's been quite easy this time round, at the beginning I was thinking it would be nice to have a drink. Why am I doing this? Blah, blah, blah. Until you start to see the positives in it, until you start to be grateful for the little things. Like, okay, well, I didn't drink last night. It was tough and I had a good night, but I've got up early this morning. I've gone for a run. I've lost weight because I didn't drink 3,000 calories last night. There's always a positive, but you've got to have the right mindset as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, also, if you're looking to give up, put yourself in a community of people that are also not drinking.
Yeah.
Don't just rely on your normal circle. And there are groups out there, like I am part of the dry group. I
Yeah.
don't use it as much as I used to, but they do calls every morning
Yeah.
and you can chat on there and stuff. Yeah, like for me, it helped. I probably still would have done a year without it. I'm not going to lie, because I was ready for it.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
also think it helped. And I've met some really, well, I haven't actually met them yet,
Yeah.
virtually met some really cool people that we're going to do this big old walk next year, which I wouldn't be doing if I didn't jump into that course and didn't stay sober. It
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
opened up a lot of different doors.
Yeah. Love that. Absolutely love that. So let's hit this big last question. So you touched on it earlier, but we're gonna wrap it up with this. So, what advice would you give to Chantelle in a drinking heyday, and why would you give her that advice?
I find that as a really hard question because I think you can end up having a go at yourself for drinking back in the day when it was the normal thing to do. So the advice I would give is to question why I'm drinking. What are the positives? What are the negatives? And then decide what to do going forward. Do I really need it? I think that's a really tough question. And I would probably just say to myself, you don't need it. You're better without it. Be confident, but be real, and don't use the alcohol to be someone else that you think you should be. Because that's why we drink. We drink to be someone else, to fit in with a group, and maybe that's not the group that you should be in.
Oh, mic drop that one. Yeah,
Ah,
I
got rid of
think,
that, didn't I?
yeah, that was great because I think you hit the nail on the head. Like, you're drinking to be involved in a community that probably you don't even want to be in anyway. Like,
Yeah, well, you
and
think you do. You think it's the
yeah,
right place to be. And like you say, it served a purpose. You can't change what's done,
no,
but you
that's
can,
good though, right?
yeah,
You can't change what's
yeah,
done, and
you can learn from it though.
I think people, you know, again, I'm not knocking, not like everyone can get sober by doing whatever they feel right, and I think that's a part of the 12 steps is like forgiving, not just
Yeah,
yourself, but and forgiving like where you're at and like giving up that power to someone else, whether it be God or whatever it may be. But it's also like you can't change what's already happened. That's why I mentioned about that line in the sand because you're like you can't fucking you can't change. You can apologize, but you
yeah.
can't change them for whatever you've done. You know, the
And
guilt,
it's a
the shame.
process, isn't it?
Uh,
And
yeah,
it
it,
and
it
that's why
is.
people drink, because they might have been a bit of an idiot the night before or the week before. So you drink to forget and to forgive yourself, but you're
Yeah,
not. You're just putting a little plaster on it until next time.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's again going through the hard.
yeah, yeah. And it, you know, I think the hardest thing is like you and I and the majority of people maybe are listening. We've been drinking since we're 15, 16. To expect things to change in like a week is gonna
Yeah,
you're fucking deluded. It took you 30 years to get into this shape or this state or this mindset or whatever it may be. Why is it going to take 7 days to change it? Do you know what I mean?
yeah. It's a long, like you say, you've been doing the same thing for 20, 30 years. It's going to take more than a week, but you've got to be nice to yourself.
Yeah,
Allow
yeah,
yourself the opportunity to make the change.
absolutely. Like if you're not nice to yourself or and also like give yourself a pat on the back. Like, I think the most important thing, and obviously you're very good at, is like rewarding yourself for milestones, right? Like whether it be fucking
Yeah.
7 days.
I never used to, but now
No.
I was like a month, get some trainers, do this, do
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Like, be proud of what you've done. Otherwise, why are you doing it?
yeah.
Like,
Because there's other people that are proud of you as well. And I think, yeah, like for me, I get a massage every 5 weeks now. I get a
self
haircut.
care, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's like, okay, cool. And I spent, well, I don't even want to fucking say how much I spent on nights out. Do you know what I mean? But like,
Yeah.
it's,
But we don't batter an eyelid at a night out, but yet you get yourself a 40, 50 quid massage and you're like, I can't afford it. But
yeah,
people are just wasting money at that bar like they're rich. Everyone's in debt, but yet you won't get yourself that new pair of running trainers because you want a new hobby, or you won't get yourself the organic, whatever it'll be, but yet you
yeah,
don't batter an eyelid at what you're spending at the bar. And it
yeah.
baffles me. I don't get it. And that's something that I don't get now. And I struggle to get my head around it.
I struggle to get my head around it because like, I think that people don't see the underlying costs as well. So for me, it wasn't just the booze, right? It was the taxis home. It was the days that
The
I missed.
food,
Yeah, the fucking shitty food the next day, or the at the night as well. It's the
yeah,
days I missed at work. You know, there's all these. You know, one night fucking like the shit that I'd put on my mum. You know,
the
I'd have to go.
stress.
Yeah, I'd have
Yeah.
to go to A&E. Yeah, all these things, and I'm like, you can't put a price on these things because yeah, it's bonkers. But I charge £7 a day for my coaching. Nah, it's too expensive, mate.
But yet you'll get a coffee from Costa, which is about fiver a day,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. Well, yeah, it's six. I think it's six. Well, it's at £6 so a pint. But yeah, nah, I can't afford it, mate. It's
Yeah,
crazy, isn't it? But again, people will show what they value the most, right? And that's a beer and or instant gratification again.
yeah.
Mate, that is so good. Where can people find your amazing self?
Best place would probably be Instagram, and I think my handle is ShantiG30. So
Amazing.
yeah, that's the best. It is private, but yeah, I can always accept the friend requests.
Legend. And also, like, tell them where, if they have young kids, what a little bit about the business as well.
Yeah, so I'm a franchisee of a company called Baby Ballers, and we've got various locations. So we teach toddlers aged from 16 months up to 5 years. The concepts of playing football, socialising with other children, and all the other fun stuff in between. The locations that I run are Benfleet, Langdon, Welwyn Garden City, Hatfield, Stevenage, Biggleswade, Southend is coming, and Rochford. Plenty of
Boom.
locations for everyone.
If you live locally to there, get on it. It looks fucking fun as fuck. I
It's
want to.
amazing.
Yeah, it looks class. And look, mate, thank you so much for today. I really appreciate it. I know I've took up a lot of your time, so I really, really appreciate you jumping on. And I'm buzzing to have this out and in everyone's ears. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.